Hello, my friends. This is Baal Kadmon, and I would like to thank you for watching and or listening to this podcast. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine, Aman Lamba, the co-author and translator of the Complete Illustrated Grand Grimoire, or the Red Dragon Interlinear Edition French to English, posted something really interesting, something that I've never seen myself, and it was a link about a newfound gospel called the Gospel of the Lots of Mary. And when I say it's newly found, we're talking about, the last few years, not this year. It's about 1,500 years old. It's a gospel that was clearly not added to the canon. And it is written in Coptic, which is usually the language that a lot of these quote-unquote lost gospels are written in, the Gnostic gospels, etc. From what I can tell from this gospel is that it's a document that sort of gives encouragement to those who are going through various trials and tribulations. I was looking around regarding this gospel, and I found this image. And this image is Coptic, and it intrigued me. And I'm the type of person that when you present me with something like this, I need to figure it out. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, I can read this. I sort of see what's going on here. And so I just sat with it for hours and hours and hours. And I discovered that I actually could, decipher what was written here. It was very difficult. Coptic is far more difficult than just Greek, even though it looks like these are Greek letters, because Coptic is a complex language. It's not just Greek. It's also ancient Egyptian. And I have another video on YouTube about the Gospel of St. Thomas, which is also in Coptic, which I illustrate the Egyptian-Greek correlation. So the text in English states the following: "Do not be of two minds, because God is merciful. It is He who will bring about your request for you and do away with the affliction in your heart." And the image credit is right there. So here is the Coptic pronunciation. This was not easy because some of the lettering is faded, but I did my best. And when I pronounce Greek letters, I'm using the Koine pronunciation, which is very different from the Erasmian. And I'll just give you a quick example. Probably the most popular example is the letter beta, right? Everyone pronounces it as a B. Erasmian is B. But in Koine, in ancient Greek, it's actually pronounced as a V, so it's veta. So there's a few of these things going on in this text. But I just wanted to clarify that my pronunciation might seem a little different if you are trained in the Erasmian, more academic text. I read it from the more sort of like the original religious text. All right, so this is what I was able to pronounce from this image. Voch enechtien nekefiti awa tentak homoloi emof zochef vochno soten nemelechit snau geusnachtis pepno te otof pet narutio na petima nef evol ethethlipsis entelpek chit. Whew, man, that was not easy, because I had to look at that and really look at this image and just like really go letter by letter by letter. And in some cases, as you can see, it's sort of like a run-on sentence, because there was no punctuation. So you have like, words that are, several words actually sort of condensed together there. This was a very interesting gospel to read. If you would like to look it up, just look up the Gospel of the Lots of Mary. It's very interesting. And all these Coptic Gospels are incredibly interesting. And I have one on the Gospel of St. Thomas. I will add the link to the description box below so you can see my video about that. So anyway, that is it for tonight. Again, I'd like to announce that I'm soon to pre-release a course on ancient Egyptian magic and history and hieroglyphs. And I will actually probably include elements of this podcast in that course. It's going to be a massive course. It's mostly for beginners and intermediate. If you're very advanced in ancient Egyptian history and magic, you'll probably still benefit from it. But this is definitely for beginners to intermediate. But it's going to be massive. I'm covering so much in it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I hope you are safe. Make sure to wash your hands. I will speak to you soon. So mote it be.